Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today we're going to be looking at my Stamplar video for the Deadlands chapter. Before we get started, as always, just liking the video really helps me a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, that really helps me a lot too. We're getting really far on this, so I really appreciate all the support. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you guys later. Alright guys, let's get started. First, let's look at our character sheet. We are going to have 20 points into health. That way we get a nice chunky health pool. We got 33.5k on our front bar, so that's pretty nice. And then we got 44 points into stamina, which gives us still a nice amount of stamina with 28.5k on our front bar. And then we're going to be using the serpent as our mundus, and we're going to be using garlic cod and potato crust as our food. Garlic cod and potato crust is the most amount of max health and max stam that you can get from one food, and that is without a doubt my favorite stam food in the game right now, and it's really gonna complement our build. You'll see. Our gear is going to be as our front bar. We're going to have a Dagon's Greatsword in the sharpen trait with the weapon and spell damage glyph on it. And what Dagon's does is the 2-piece gives you weapon and spell damage, the 3-piece gives you max stam, the 4-piece gives you another weapon and spell damage, and the 5-piece adds 487 weapon and spell damage to your area of effect abilities. So on something like Stamplar, it's going to include our jabs and our crescent. So it's really increasing our main source of damage. So I like Dagon's. I think it's Dagon's is best in the slot right now on Templar in general. I love it so much. On our back bar, we're using the Master's Perfected Sword and Board with the sword being in the Powered trait and the shield being in the Sturdy trait. What Master's Sword and Board does is the Perfected adds 3% healing taken, and then the 2-piece, when you deal damage with puncture, you heal for 4,776 health and gain spell and physical resistance equal to the amount of healing or overhealing for the 5 seconds. So, and it's based off of your max health, which is another reason why we have that chunky health pool. So this is a great way to sustain, like, alternating that between like your vigor and just being able to stay alive just by putting that on them anyway. And then puncture is major breach, so you're not only healing yourself but you're debuffing the enemy as well. It is a great way to go. It's a great way to sustain and heal in fights. And then we're also using a double dot poison on our back bar. And then for our monster set, mostly as always, we're using Magma Incarnate. Our helmet is going to be a heavy reinforced piece. And before I go on any more, all of our body pieces are going to be in the prismatic enchant, as you can tell. So helmet is heavy Magma Incarnate reinforced, and our shoulder is going to be medium Magma Incarnate in Impen. Our chest piece is going to be heavy Wretched Vitality and Reinforced. What Wretched Vitality does is the 2-piece gives you magic recovery, the 3-piece gives you stamina recovery, 4-piece gives you weapon and spell damage, and then 5-piece, while in combat, applying a major buff or debuff to a target grants you 260 magic and stamina recovery for 15 seconds. That's just your puncture right there. Easy. And while in combat, applying a minor or major a minor buff or debuff to a target, you get another 130 magic and stamina recovery. So that's a free 400 magic and stamina recovery at all times during the fight. So, guys, I love this set. It's one of my favorite sets in the game. If you see any other videos that are talking about Wretched Vitality being bad, just don't listen to them. This set is actually so good. I've been able to sustain so much on this. I absolutely love it. Thank you. I forgot to explain what Magma Incarnate does. Magma Incarnate is definitely one of my favorite things, one of my favorite monster sets in the game right now. The 1-piece gives you magic and stamina recovery. This recovery is through the roof right now in this build. And then the 2-piece, when you heal yourself or a group member with a single target heal, the lowest health group member within 28 meters gets minor courage and minor resolve, so increases their weapon and spell damage by 215 and the armor by basically 3k. And that travels between your group as well. So you're not only just helping yourself, but your group as well. So I really like this as your like on most of my builds nowadays. So our waist piece is going to be medium Wretched Vitality in Impen. Our hands are going to be medium Wretched Vitality in Impen. Legs, heavy Wretched Vitality in Reinforced. And our feet are going to be heavy Wretched Vitality in Impen. And then onto our jewelry. All three are going to be in the Swift trait. And then our necklace is going to be Dagon's with a weapon damage enchant. Both of our other rings are going to be Dagon's as well. And then we're going to have one with a stamina recovery and then one with a weapon damage. Honestly, I'm even thinking about taking the stamina recovery off and going another weapon damage. Honestly, the sustain on this is really good. It's through the roof. So, and the damage is really nice too. So why not increase that damage a little bit? So I'm thinking about putting a weapon damage glyph on there, but for now, I'm going to keep that right there. Our skills are going to look like this. For our front bar, our main spammable is going to be biting jabs, because obviously this is one of the best, this is the best thing for a Stamplar, so definitely use that. Camo Hunter, this is going to give you your major savagery, increasing your weapon critical by 2,629, and you also gain minor berserk for 5 seconds after dealing critical damage, so, that's easy. Rally, Sorcery of Major Brutality and Minor Endurance, and it gives you a nice chunk of heal, so you're going to get that 20% weapon damaging increase, and then a stamina recovery increase by 15%, so, Rally's just pog. Getting that nice chunk of heal is nice too. Binding Javelin, I think this is the most flexible spot on this entire build. I like being able to stun enemies every now and then, but there are a lot of times where, if you're up against like a perma blocker or just like up against multiple people, it's really not too it's really not too viable, but I really haven't found something else to put in this situation yet. And the last skill on our front bar is going to be Executioner. I just like having an Execute on this build. I like both Executioner and Reverse Slice. I might switch to Reverse Slice, that way I have more AoE on this build, but neither morph is bad. And before anybody says it in the comments, the reason why I don't use Power of the Light on this build is because this build is meant for like 1vxing and just fighting outnumbered, and being able to fight outnumbered, it's really difficult to use Power of the Light because you have to follow up on a certain target, for a certain amount of time to actually get the most amount of damage on, and this is very difficult in an outnumbered situation. So that is my reason for not having Power of the Light on this build, even though it is a very good skill. If you want to use that instead of Binding Javelin, I completely understand. I get it. And then our ultimate on our front bar is going to be Crescent Sweep. This, oh my god, you hit so hard with this thing, so please use this as and it's so cheap too. It costs 67 ult as an Imperial. So, did I say that earlier? I think I might have forgotten that. Our race is going to be Imperial. I forgot about that, sorry, which adds to our sustain too. So, Crescent Sweep, this hits so hard, and on top of that, it's such a cheap ultimate too. So Crescent is definitely the way to go if you can combo that with your biting jabs. Back bar, restoring focus, so it's your major resolve, so increasing your physical and spell resistance by 6k, and you also recover some stamina during that process as well while having it active. And then standing in the rune also heals you every 1 second. So, like I said, the healing on this build is kind of through the roof. I like it a lot. I like Race Against Time. This is going to proc your Wretched Vitality as well, and it's also going to be able to, have you get away from your targets as fast as possible. You are so fast in this build as well. With that triple Swift, we're also going to be using Celerity and the champion points that you'll see later. So having all of that and Race Against Time, you're basically at movement cap. So I love it. Resolving Vigor, I'm going to show you what it's like fully buffed up. Resolving Vigor, we have a 18.9k tooltip on our back bar, which is really nice. So that's over 4 seconds. So guys, it's Resolving Vigor. What else can I say? This is the best stamina heal in the game. Pierce Armor is what I was talking about earlier. It's going to just do a little bit of damage to your enemy. It's not too much, but what it does is it's going to inflict a minor breach and major breach on the enemy. So that's going to proc your Wretched Vitality right there. So there's so many things to proc that at all times during a fight. So you're going to really just keep your enemies low, and then you're also going to be keeping your recuv high. It's a win-win situation using this skill with Master Sword and Board and Wretched Vitality. And then Extended Ritual. This is going to cleanse you of negative effects and also get a nice little heal over time. So it's amazing, guys. There's so many good things on this build. I love it. And then Spell Wall on our back bar. This is just this is the best defensive ultimate in the game. If you're taking too much pressure, you can just apply this, or even if you want to apply pressure, and if you went to offensive, you would die, you could just pop this and then start jabbing. There's so many options with this. I really like it. And then onto our champion points. We'll look at that next. So our blue tree, as always, just fill in accordingly with, just like the regular passes. But for our 4 main slottables, we're going to be using Master at Arms, Biting Aura, Ironclad, and Duelist Rebuff. This is, I think, the best way to get all the full potential out of a Stamplar with this CP. So that's why I really like these. For our red tree, as always, like I said, just, put in the passives accordingly to however many CP you have. But for me, my 4 slottables are going to be Fortified, Celerity, because, movement speed is my favorite in the game. Boundless Vitality, getting that health up. Fortified earlier, getting that armor up. And then Rejuvenation, getting a little bit of extra health, magic, and stamina recovery. Like I say, guys, there's just so much recovery on this build. I love it. And then green tree is not really that important. The only thing that's important is Breakfall right here, Rationer right here, and Liquid Efficiency. Those are really the 3 only important things for PvP in the green tree. Here, I'm going to show you guys, this is me sprinting around with just Race Against Time on. It's so fast. So guys, I really like this build. Oh my god, my food was down. What was I doing? Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. This is definitely a fun build. I've been really enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoy too. If you do, don't forget to like the video. If you're not, subscribe to the channel as always. I do appreciate that. We're really doing a lot of good stuff with this channel. So I'm really appreciating all of the support that you guys have been giving me lately. I couldn't thank you guys for more. This weekend I'm going to be at Comic-Con in San Diego, so I'm going to try and record as much as possible. If you guys want to see me put together a video of that, let me know in the comments, just comment about that. So, and also in the description, I have a link to all my socials, my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. So guys, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next video. Later.